Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Missing the stream. Yeah, that's fine, mate. No worries. No worries. Morning, Michael. Good to see you, mate. Oh, dear. Do apologise for being late. Crazy old morning rush this morning. Had a good tuition session with our own Nadia, which was really good. Had a good catch up with her and got some areas of some focus areas of study done, which is really good. It did run over a little bit, and then I hadn't had a drink, so I had to go downstairs and grab myself a coffee, ready for the morning session. So there we are. Good to see you, Michael. Haven't seen you for a day or two, I don't think, buddy, in the streams at least. Yeah. So, what a week. What a crazy week it's been so far. Man, it's been crazy. It really has. We're going to do a review in a moment because when I was in the tuition session a moment ago and I was going through the volume of trades that have been come out this week, I was actually I was amazed at just how incredibly busy it has been. This week with the trading, it really has been quite action packed, and it's strange as well because a lot of the days have. Well, I say a lot of the days actually. That's a bit of a over exaggeration. I wouldn't say a lot of the days, but some of the periods of time throughout the days this week have been incredibly slow and not much going on. But I've really been actively pushing this month to get some good returns on the board, primarily because obviously it's holiday month for me, so I'm going away for a couple of weeks next Friday. I still don't understand. I still am at a little bit of a loss around what the services are going to look like in terms of the skeleton provision of services, which there will be. There always will be. I'm assuming I'm probably going to be doing some kind of market reviews and then posting them on YouTube, sending them into you guys so that you've got some kind of, some kind of idea of, what's going on, where the money's moving and where you guys should be, or a little bit of assistance, obviously. And then some trade ideas as well on a daily basis if I can work that out. You got nothing to apologise for, Michael. That's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine, man. Everyone's jobs get in the way. That's not a problem. So, yes, instead of there's not going to be any FX trade ideas or commodity trade ideas this morning being posted out. We're going to leave that until next week. Now, I'm done. I am done. It's been a huge week, and we are going to review the books to see what's been going on. I will cover what we've got going on currently. So what we've got going on currently is this oil trade, and this triggered via pending yesterday, and it's just kind of remained relatively buoyant at around this area at 79.80. It's not really been doing too much of anything else. We've got this level of liquidity down here as well at the moment. It is protecting price from transitioning any lower. We have come pretty damn close to its stop loss a couple of times, and this one primarily this morning at 9:15, but it is currently, as you can see, in profit, and it's just kind of sitting here. So it's a set and forget trade. My bias is demand increase for UK Brent, and so therefore I will be leaving this to run. Hopefully we may end up seeing a positive return from it. We've got gold, which also triggered via pending yesterday, and just like oil is in the exact same position. It's currently just teetering around the entry point. We've come down into a loss for a small period of time this morning, around 6:45. Worked our way out of it. The volumes in this are basically non-existent. They are so dead. So it's, verdict is still far out on this one at the moment, deciding what to do. The short pending order is gone. Okay, So I've removed that. The long's triggered. I don't want the short open anymore. Even though that's a really nice trade idea in there. This week, it's the end of the week. We're on Friday. It's time to clear the books and get ready for next week. So that gold remains open, and yeah, does what it does. Now, we had a bunch of other pendings open, and I've removed all of these from the order book, okay? So all of these are now gone. The Aussie CAD is gone. I had a short lined up yesterday. In fact, the Australian dollar got insanely powerful and rallied the bloody street off it. It really did. So now it's trading up at around 90.55 after doing a very, very nice job of breaking through the descending level here, and is now trading on top of liquidity up there as well. And so again, we're going to completely clear down the chart and leave that one pending order as removed, and we'll come back to that next week. Aussie yen, we didn't have anything on it. Aussie NZD, we had this trade idea on. It's now trading down there. We came a hair's breadth away from this trade going, and it missed. Obviously, luckily as well. So this pending order is going to be removed. All the analysis is going to be removed, and we're just going to be sitting tight and waiting for that one to ultimately, I don't know, form new criteria next week, and we can sort of get caught up on that one. Aussie dollar, again, another pending order. And again, Australian dollar, it's risen. So again, this is being removed. Chart's being cleared down. We will catch up about that one next week. Didn't have anything on the yen crosses as far as I remember. A lot of these, that's not even in the market anymore. I just left a table there for it. But we can just clear down the analysis on the majority of these charts at the moment, given the time of the week it is. This was our pending on cable. So this was one that actually fell in the bag quite nicely, and yep, decent little 1 to 1.9. We have got a break of liquidity as well. It does look good to continue, but it's Friday again. Not really going to be looking for anything else this week in that one, and we can continue our journey with cable next week. NZD JPY, nothing going on. NZD USD had a potential short there. That was a pending order as well. We actually ended up rallying back from this low up to this high. That would have been a really decent trade idea. Frankly, guys, I just didn't think it had it in it. I really didn't. I thought we'd come up to this high. We were probably going to continue trading lower. And so that was therefore the trade idea, to continue trading in the range motion that we had been prior. So unfortunately, it didn't. It did trade up higher. And that's where it is at the moment. But anyway, fresh pair of eyes. New chart for next week. USD CAD, we took a hit on this one this week. That was the original pending order here. That triggered in the afternoon, came up, hit stop loss, and yeah, that's where it's been trading so far. I mean, this USD CAD's not looking that sharp at the moment, quite honestly. And then we've got USD yen, and that's where we are with that one, which is a fresh chart anyway. So this morning we took a EU50, and that was a loss. Quite unfortunate, to be honest. It was a really, really little trade idea. Very short price-time ratio by my standards, expectations. Unfortunately, we came down to literally a jump away from the target profit, and we went right the way back up. And then we came down to just above the target profit, and then we came back up. And it sat around here for ages, and then ended up coming out to stop us out there, now trading at 46.99. So we are currently on the day minus 0.25% down for our stock sessions so far. Now I will remove fresh pair of eyes. We will be focusing on the US stocks this afternoon. That's why I'm here this morning. It's the only session left to do. I'm not going to be focusing on any of the asset classes from this stage on. But what I want to do before that is I want to head over to do a small review of the week's trades and actually taking a good look through them, because it has been quite the week. So obviously, as you all know, on the sorry, I just found my place here. On the weekend, we had a lot, crazy amount of market volatility that took place. And this was primarily due to recession fears coming out of the US. A lot of US officials and a lot of the major institutions over there fearing the worst for the US, and it's kind of still continue to bleed out across the rest of the world as well. We're also getting now, as of yesterday, the same signs from the BOE, who have now changed their tune and are all fearing major recession ahead, with the inclusion of another 25 basis point cut on the next interest rate decision. Now, the pound in particular is expected to get slashed. That's what I've heard. We are going to be expecting some significant losses in GBP pairs against the opposing currencies. And dollar's in a shit show as well, as we all know. And that's made for a pretty significant catalyst event throughout the majority of the trading week. Now, of course, Wednesday was a complete washout. I actually had a drawdown day on Wednesday, 0.5% down, as we will see in a moment. Here it is. Yeah, that's it there. So, yeah, it's been quite. It's just been all over the bloody place. But the amazing thing is, I had no idea. But we've done 30 trade ideas in this 1 week so far. 30. 29, actually, to be exact. 29 trade ideas. I mean, that's pretty significant, isn't it? Right? So, out of those 29 trade ideas, 13 of those trades have been losses, including this morning's EU50. So it's not an exceptionally good. It's not an exceptionally good win-loss ratio. It's good. It's okay, isn't it? It's basically my standard. But it's not fantastic. We have incurred losses. We have taken on some, the fair number of losing trades out of all of those. But I cannot remember the last week that I had 30 trade ideas. I mean, can you? Seriously? Things have been really ramped up. I know they have, but there's some interesting patterns that you can find out from these areas as well. Okay, now the interesting patterns really, and I was just talking about this a moment ago, but the interesting patterns are coming through with the stocks. Now, generally speaking, if you go through and you look at my stock trading history, you will see that generally speaking, I have a loss and a win in the same asset in the stocks, usually together. So, for example, German 40, we have a loss, we have a win. US 30, we have a loss, we have a win. NAS 100, that was a good day for the NAS, to be fair. NAS 100 loss, US 30 win. NAS 100 win, US 30 loss. US 30 loss, US 30 win. Yeah, so this goes back. This goes back, before this week. This goes back a lot. And it's really interesting to see the loss and the win working together like that. Now, obviously that's not really the magic, right? The magic is in the risk management. That's where the magic happens. Because I'm only ever losing 0.2 or 0.25, but I'm always winning 0.5, 0.75, even 1%. We actually had a 1% this week in a 1 to 4 somewhere. I'm sure we did. There it is. That one there. A US 30, 1 to 4 risk reward ratio. 1.01%. So that's a really good one. But it's just interesting going back through all these, and because you don't realize how many you're doing day to day. You just have no idea. But it's really interesting to see that actually at the end of this week, we would have done probably by the end of today more than 30 trades in the week overall. Monthly return is currently up at 8.97%. Bearing in mind, at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually on the 9th of the month. So we have been averaging out almost 1% per day this month. And even more because obviously we don't trade weekends. Weekly return, 6.5% this week. So yeah, I mean it's been very good. It's been extremely good, to be honest. I've got nothing to complain about. I think you get wrapped up, don't you, in the middle of it all, day by day, and you're thinking, oh, it's been really sort of wobbly this week, or not much has been happening here, and this isn't going on there and stuff. But actually, the important lesson to remember is when you look back over time, and you look at all the trades that you've taken, it does start coming together. It might not look this great, it might not look this bad, but it does come together. It does come together in the end, and that's what you got to remember. It does. It's always worthwhile being reflective and looking at the bigger picture. And when you've been having a hard time, having a tough time, whatever. But anyway, I mean, this is all open for you guys. You guys can check this out whenever you like. I urge you to do so. I told Nadia to do it this morning, even though it's a bit boring. I'm not saying it's the most exciting process, but audit it, review it, go through, look, check out the patterns, look at the similarities and things, look at the breaks of structure, look at the where the supply and demand zones are and stuff. Just study it. This is all at the end of the day. Yes, okay, there's financial return for me, but this is for you. It's not about it's never about bragging rights or any other bullshit. At the end of the day, this is not new. This is what I've done with my entire life, and to be honest with you, I got pretty bored of it for quite a long time, as you well know. But it is out there for you to study. So just really go through, make the most of it. Spend an hour a day just looking at the trades, working out why they went the way they did. I mean, you've all got constant access to every single one of them, but obviously you've got your own jobs, you have your own times where you're on, where you're not on, and stuff like that. It's of course, it's never going to be flawless, is it? It's never going to be flawless, unless you're literally in an office with me, day to day. Maybe that'll happen in the future, but at the moment, this is the best we've got to work with, right? So anyway, rather than me get all sentimental, I'll go back on. We can check out the US stock markets for this afternoon, set you guys up for that one, and rock and roll on our way. So let's have a look back at the charts. So NAS 100. It's going to be a bit difficult, guys. Obviously, we're 10 o'clock in the morning now. But I would be kind of sticking to a 15-minute time frames for the analysis. There's no point looking at the 1-minute chart, frankly. So 15-minute time frame, the NAS 100. We've got a break close and a retest taking place. Liquidity at the moment. Price is currently printing 1854. That's based on the chart that I'm using. The chart that I'm using is the FX one on Forex.com. The target profit really is going to be for a long at about this area here, maybe this area, but then this would definitely be a technical risk factor for the long. So you could look at that being the trade for today for the NAS 100 intraday, but then you have a technical risk factor which genuinely lies right bang in the middle of those two zones. So you want to be aware of that one. For a potential short, it's going to be a break of structure underneath this area, and then your target is going to be at this area. Right, so that's the setup for the NAS 100 today. Now, for the US 30 Dow Jones, it's slightly similar, but not quite. We're not really quite there yet on the US 30 Dow. So we've got the high, we've got the ceiling, we've got the floor. That's where price has been trading now for a little while, the equilibrium zone. We've got the bit right in the middle as well, so don't worry, that bit is still there. Either. So that's where the US 30's margins are. Now, if we're taking a long breakout in here, then ultimately we're going to be looking at around this area here for the target profit for the US 30 Dow Jones. And for the short, you can trade that on a 1 minute chart. Okay, the space between there. Or the intraday short is going to be likely at around this area in here. So probably in there. Now, honestly, I really love the idea of this and this. I mean, that is a perfect W reversal. We've got huge price voids here. Lovely, lovely margin of trade. Obviously, these are cash neutral areas. Cash rich down here, cash rich up here. So the likelihood is that if the market does come down below this area, it's probably going to drop. So you could manage this out and earn yourself a better return. But I will leave that up to you. If you're a set and forget trader, then you want to be sticking to these margins in here. Now, again, we're having the retest at the moment. Once the retest is done, trigger the long by a breaker structure, which is going to be this area in here. Then target profit, stop loss down there somewhere, entry there. You're going to look at a decent risk reward as a result. Remember, 1 minute time frame to trade between these two margins here. Breaker structure for this one's that level there. So stop loss, entry, target profit. And down below, you're going to be looking at these. Now, this one down here is a breaker structure as well. No BCR requirement. The only BCR requirement in any of these is the long. And that's already halfway sort of to be completed. And that's that, guys. That is that. That's pretty much where I'm at. So, just to conclude, plenty of opportunities on the NAS and the US 30 Dow today. It is a Friday. And the problems with Fridays is that we have very temperamental price action. But not only that, the difference about this Friday is that we have had a hellishly stormy week in the markets because of major fundamental events that are going on. Lots of catalysts. So there could be the possible outcome that a lot of the major institutions around the world will be looking at this weekend and thinking to themselves, I wonder if the same thing is going to happen this weekend, or what is going to happen this weekend, or what if this happens this weekend. Remember, they are all professional risk managers, so they will be weighing up the risks. And so therefore, I should imagine that this afternoon, it could be either one or two things. Extremely quiet. And I mean quiet like it's a damn bank holiday quiet. Or alternatively, it could be choppy as hell. But make no mistake that one or the other, it's all high risk territory at the moment. So be very, very careful. Obviously, never risking above 0.25%. Looking for that consistency in your risk rewards. And doing what you can do. Alright, guys. So, I'm going to love you and leave you all there. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. It's been a pleasure as always. Get yourself a good couple of days away after the day is done. And I look forward to catching up with you next week on Monday, team. So have a great day. Catch you then. Take care. Trade safe. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.